What's up guys, Aaron Benzer. I'm here for another video. As usual, I'm here with my good friend Ty, and today I want to discuss the leg drag. This is going to be a basics and principles video about the position. The leg drag is one of the most popular passes in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu today, and I truly believe it's because it's so versatile. You can use it in no-gi, you can use it in the gi, and you can use it from several different guards. And I think what makes a very good and dangerous guard passer is somebody who has one really good position that they're able to apply against different guards. So for example, you look at Lucas Lepre, one of the greatest guard passers today. His knee slice is inevitable. No matter what position you put him in, he's going to find a way to get back to his knee slice. Rafa Mendes was very similar with the leg drag. The leg drag is one of my favorite passes, so I want to make a series of videos focusing solely on this position. So enough talk, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's just look at the basics and the principles. So, what is the leg drag? Basically, the leg drag is when I have my partner's leg dragged across my body. So his foot comes across my body. So let's go over some of the mistakes that I see beginners make with this position initially. One is that they drag it in between their legs and they end up like this. So I need to make sure his leg comes over my hip and across my body. Secondary to that is that I have to fall to this knee. A lot of beginners come through like this. This isn't a bad position. This is actually a different pass. It's like a folding pass, but it's not the leg drag. So, again, my partner's hip comes across my hip. My partner's foot comes across my hip, pardon me. My knee is going to go in between my partner's legs. There's several different variations of the leg drag. I'm going to show you the one that I do, but I'll mention some of the things other people do. Some people actually leg drag from a standing position, and they never come down. They stay squatted like this. I like to come down to my knee that's in between my partner's legs. So, for example, my partner's left leg is dragged across my left hip, which means my left knee is going to go to the mat, like so. Now, some people play the leg drag by pinching the knees tight. I like to keep my foot kickstanded, almost like I'm in knee on belly. And when I do that, sometimes I can still pinch my knee to my partner's hip. Very important is my left hand. So whatever knee is in between my partner's legs, stapling his leg to the mat, that hand is going to be extremely important. I want to put this hand either on his same side lapel, so not cross, same side, or like right by his ribs here. And one thing that's very important is I want to wedge his knee to my hip, his quad, by placing my elbow tight and keeping my elbow inside my own hamstring. I'm going to change the angle so that I can have a lot of pressure here. My goal is to make sure that my partner cannot draw this knee back. Another mistake I see beginners make is they place this hand outside of the knee line, and they're like this, and their partner just brings their knee back, and then he pushes, and they retain guard. So we have to bring our elbow over the knee, and we have to staple his leg down. So now I have two methods of control on his body, right? I'm stapling his legs with my left leg, and my left hand is controlling his left leg, right? Like this. Now he tries to bring his knee back. It's very difficult. Now, the second thing that I want to mention is why I put this foot up. Some people go here, but as you just saw, if Ty really tries to open his knee up and I don't have this foot here, I can lose my base. Right? So when I have this here like this and I'm driving, if he tries to open, it's much more difficult. So, let's talk about finishing methodologies with the leg drag. There's several different things you can do, guys. I always say when I teach there's no right or wrong. It's going to be personal preference. So, whatever you think works best for you and your style. I like to attack the back. So oftentimes I'm not so focused on pinning this shoulder. But a lot of people like to come in and pin this shoulder down so that his back is flat, but his knees are pointing this way. What this does is it misaligns the direction of his spine and it weakens Ty's power to retain guard. Right, so I'm here like this, and I'm able to flatten him out, and then slowly I can work my way to a side control. I don't pay as much attention to this unless it's tournament jiu-jitsu and you have to get your points, because oftentimes what I see people do is come across and underhook my leg with this hand. Yeah, they start to do this. And what this does is it opens them up for a lot of back attacks. So if I see my partner start to do this, this is an opportunistic moment for me to attack his back, because this shoulder being off of the ground and I'm essentially already past his guard, I can always force his arm through, come this way, and then start to attack his back. So the way that I play the leg drag is more focused on trying to find the back off of the position as opposed to just pinning. So again, let's rehash some of these principles. His leg comes across my hip, and I use my left knee to pin him in this position, right? Because I'm passing towards my right. So that means my left knee staples. Okay? I don't do this. Secondary to that, I make sure his leg's completely across and not in between. I don't do this either. My left hand, the elbow is going to cover his quad. And I'm going to grab either a lapel or a rib grip. I'm going to change the angle in a second. My right leg, my free leg, is going to be kickstanded, pinching. If you find you're more comfortable here, that's fine. That might be better for you. My free hand is either going to pin the shoulder, or I can just keep it here for base. If he tries to buck me really hard this way, I have my base. Now my head is going to stay low. For the purpose of demonstration, so that I can talk to you guys, I've kept my head up. But realistic leg drag, I'm low like this. Right? Because there's a method to the madness. When I come low, what happens is my ribs apply pressure to his leg. So I now have 3 methods of control on my partner's hip. I'm stapling his leg with my left knee. I have his quad blocked and a grip with my left hand. And now my ribs are over his hip, like so. And so now I'm really clenching my chest and ribs down to his leg so that he can barely even open. If he tries to open, it's much harder now. If I'm up like this and he opens, you'll see me buck. But that's also not bad, because it can be an opportunistic moment to pass in the transition. So let's change the angle, because I want to mention one more extremely advanced principle. When you leg drag, this is the leg that comes through, like this. One thing that you want to do that's very important is to use your hook and be able to control your partner's leg. So look what I do. I don't come straight through like this. I angle myself like this. See the difference? In this case, my knee, let's move back this way. In this case, my knee is pointing straight. The proper way is my knee is pointing in. And the reason that I do this is so that I have this foot hook here, and I can move his leg with my leg. I always tell people when I teach it, you should be able to move your partner's leg with your leg. The reason this is important is because if Ty underhooks my leg and he starts to try to pull my leg through, I have to have a really strong hook here. And if I'm loose with my knee on the ground, he pulls my leg through, pull my leg through, I'm going to lose my leg drag and be in a potentially dangerous situation. I can't tell you guys how many times I've either choked my opponent out, passed their guard, or taken their back because I'm here and they insist on underhooking my leg and trying to pull it through, and they find that they're never able to. He can pull as hard as he wants. He's never going to pull my leg through like this. Then this free hand comes back in, grabs the collar, I stand, and I slide my knee out, and then he exposes his back again. But it's so important to try as much as you can to get this hook in. And so again, I'm using that opposing forces that I've used on my half butterfly guard, my butterfly guard, my single X. My knee is going this way, and my foot is going this way, like this, and I'm tight. This hand is on the collar or the ribs, and then when I'm really passing, my head is low, my foot is out, and my chest is helping keep him closed. Now he tries to move. He's not going to move. And then I can pass his guard. So these are the basics and the principles of developing a strong leg drag. The mechanics of why leg drag work are because I'm pointing my partner's knees away from me as I pass his guard. In order to retain guard, we know that he has to turn into me. So his options are to turtle, but with my lapel grip, let's go back one more time. With my lapel or rib grip, it hooks, and if I use this right hand, he tries to turtle, he's not going to turtle. Right? And then I can feel and anticipate he's trying to turtle. I let him. And then I can take his back. So the leg drag is a great position to not only pass the guard, pin your opponent, limit their mobility, attack the back, and there's a bunch of different attacks. Over the next few videos, I'm going to show you how to do the leg drag from several different guards and positions, and we're going to go over some attacks from there. So thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Os guys.